Hey everyone, welcome back to another Kevin's Kreations here on Geektopia Island. I'm Kevin.
I'm Cardwell.
And today, we have the fun GP winning deck that I played this last GP at Glendale, Arizona. It is my own personal brew that I call Frayla's Lost Love. But, before we get into that, we just want to remind everybody we do have a Patreon. Click the link down below. It really just takes $1 to give us some extra love and support, and we would greatly appreciate it. But with that, we're going to show everybody the deck that I played and all the craziness that it has in it.
Oh yeah.
So be ready for cards you've never really seen or like you've probably heard about in the long past, but they really don't see play.
At all? Ever?
Ever.
So, you know, be prepared to read the card on the side here.
Yeah.
And also, we do believe, Kevin, that you made this, I don't know, 2 nights before? Or the night before?
Yeah,
the tournament?
So I made this deck on Thursday night to play on Saturday, and like I fell asleep making it while I was figuring it out, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Because I was just like, what do I do? And then I finished it on Friday night with Sideboard, and then I won a GP. So hey, cool.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. With that, we're going to delve into it. The ruler is Lucifer, because I can't use Frayla as much as I want to, because she doesn't have Divinity. And Divinity is too powerful to not use.
Yeah, 5 extra cards at your disposal, done.
Yeah. And every one of my cards in my Divinity deck saved my ass at some point in time during this tournament.
Yeah. But
we'll go over Lucifer. He is Divinity 10, Judgments for 5, 2 black and 3, and Energizes for black. And he's an 8/8 flyer with Divinity 10 when he Judgments, and when your opponent discards 3 when he comes into play. I got to do it one time when I needed to, and then I proceeded to kill my Lucifer to block a 13/13 Gwen, so that was kind of bad, but man, it is what it is,
right?
He did his job.
Exactly.
But where he came forward for me was his Rune Deck. First off, Tears of the Fallen. 0 cost, Divinity 2, your opponent discards card at random.
Yep. Turn 1. Done.
Awesome. I played this simply because I'm playing aggro and I don't want them to have a card in hand.
Yeah.
One less answer makes my life easier. Next up was Freed from the Altar. 1 black and 1 for Divinity 1 Chant Rune. You may pay 1 less to play this from a rune area. You search your deck for a Darkness Resonator and put it in your hand, and then you lose 400 life.
Which is good.
Yeah. I play a whole bunch of them, but mostly this is pay 1 black, go get an Astema.
Yeah.
More often than not. Or go get a sideboard card. And we'll talk about it. Next up is Sand Awakening. 1 red and 1 for Divinity 1. It is quick cast. You pay a red less to play this from a rune area, so essentially it just costs 1. Target Resonator gets +2/+6. Or if it's a fire resonator, it gets +4/+8. And Majin Dark Elf is a fire resonator, so sometimes you hit for 10.
Yeah.
Turn 2, take 10. Brarg.
Sometimes you just gotta get in there. You gotta send a message for sure.
Yeah. Sometimes you just hit real hard with all kinds of dudes. Power of Immortality. It's a black deck. It's gonna be a staple Divinity card because it's just good.
Saves your dude.
It's 1 black and 1 for Divinity 1, costs 1 less. It's a quick cast. Target Resonator gets +4/+0, and when it dies, it comes back into play under your control vested. I mean, it just saves your dude. So, like, this card you have to play around anymore. Like, every deck that plays black runs it.
Yeah.
Even if they don't really play black, they run it, because it's just a good card. And you really do have to play around it. I didn't think it was as important, but it is. Like, so many times I'd actually waste mine on something silly that I needed to, but it gave me my dude back or whatever. And then the final card is Lucifer's original Master Rune, Black Rosario, 2 black, Divinity 2. Your opponent banishes 2 Resonators.
Just like that.
I mean, it's just simple.
I mean, you know, you're playing aggro, you need to clear the way. Just for 2 mana.
It does the job real well.
2 will, and it's all good.
So my road down there was pretty wild. Played 3 Gills and 2 Altar decks, and then a Mount Loki Machine deck. And then this crazy aggro, like, faster than my deck, the aggro deck.
Yeah. Mono white, yes.
It wasn't mono white, it was white, red, black. Oof. But it was with Adam's Sidecard.
Oh yeah.
And it was crazy. But we'll get into the cards that helped me get there and the deck of the actual deck.
And of course, number 1 is Dark Elf Gravekeeper. 1 darkness, 4/3. Enters the battlefield, you go get a Dark Elf and put it in the graveyard. Simple as that.
Yeah, it's a lot better with Frayla because you get to bring them back, but with this, I use it for another card, one of my March of the Dead sorceries. It's just good.
Yeah, it's really good. Now this, of course, Spinning Time Horse. You were given a lot of guff here. 1 red, 2/2. When this card enters the field, another target resonator you control gains swiftness until end of turn. And then when it dies, you get strength counters on your thing, which probably never mattered.
It actually does matter.
Oh, it does matter.
Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, so you get 2 or 4 strength counters on it, which is pretty good for 1 red.
Yeah, mostly it's that 1 red to give another dude swiftness, and it's a creature, so it helps because it gives me 3 creatures when we talk about her later.
I get Majin Dark Elf. It's classic. 1 red,
Yeah.
6s with swiftness. And then, but you can only play this card if damage was dealt to you this turn, which is easy with the Null Stone that we have.
Yeah, easy peasy. It's a free 6 damage for 1 mana. I'll take it in an aggro deck all day long.
Now with this next guy, please tell us your story of.
All right, so my boy Dark Elf Spy.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a Dark Elf Spy. It's 1 black for 4/4. At the end of your turn, each player takes 1 damage.
That's it.
That's all it does.
As simple as that.
And this card actually killed somebody, and I was pretty excited about it. And oddly enough, this was like my second best card in the deck.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not kidding, because it dealt like, over the course of the game, it probably dealt like 16-ish damage in terms of attacking and its ability.
It's pretty good.
And I'm not including myself, because it bleeds you out over time. You're just like, cool, turn 1, play this dude, we both take a damage.
Yeah.
And then next turn, you're like, cool, swing 4, you take another damage. So that's already 9 damage that it's dealt.
And such a small creature that I can see people just ignoring it. They're like, it's okay, it's just 1.
Yeah, and then after they've taken enough bleed damage, they have to answer it,
Yeah.
just because they're either A, annoyed with it, or B, that it's going to kill them.
Yeah, straight up.
And really, it killed somebody because I just got to Astema and then play that and take a damage. So
Yeah.
it was pretty fun.
Don't you have to swing?
Yeah.
The next one is Frayla's Devotee. 1 red and 1, 5/5. Whenever damage is dealt to you, this card gets +2/+2 until end of turn.
So all your null stones give you extra bonuses.
Just by 1 red, pump 2.
Yeah, I mean,
Imagine.
she was okay. She's mostly like a sideboard
Filler.
replacement card.
Yeah.
Because almost every game I sided her out for some other sideboard stuff.
It's like one of those that it rounds out the definitely game 1 where people are afraid of it. Then game 2, you're like, okay, we can get rid of this.
Yeah. Because there was a couple games where I played her like on turn 1 with Energize, and they're just like, hold on, what does that card do? And then they see 2 null magic stones, and I was like, yep,
Yeah.
this is gonna happen because I'm just gonna take damage, and you're gonna take some more damage.
Yeah, we'll trade life. It's okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because you're not caring if you're trading life, because you play Lily of the Last Flower.
Yeah.
That's the next Resonator I have, and she has 2 mana for 5/5. She comes into play. Target Resonator your opponent controls gets -2/-2 for each Dark Elf in your graveyard.
Super good.
And then you can remove a Dark Elf from your graveyard. She gets a 1/1 counter and 1 instance of Drain. So if you do it multiple times, she gets multiple instances of Drain.
So stupid.
It is kind of silly, I'm not gonna lie, but that saved me a couple times. In the finals, it saved me a whole lot, just because he was playing super aggressive aggro deck, and I needed to gain some sort of life. And she couples with another really good card that I do have in here, her Protector.
Yeah.
That does give her
Barrier.
barrier. But other than that, it's just to give you the extra little life early to kill a dude.
Yeah. And 1 elf that will work with the Frayla's Devotee is Treasonous Guard. 1 darkness, 1 6/6 card. When this card enters the field, deal 2 damage to each player. So simple as that.
Yeah.
2 damage, deal 2, and it's a 6/6, so not too bad.
Yeah. I chose this one over some of the other like dudes and or Dark Elves just because March of the Dead is a card, and March of the Dead getting this back gets you to the ability to kill someone without having to attack. Really, I wanted to make sure I could kill you without having to attack as best I could.
Yeah, sounds good.
And she does that a good job. What also does a really good job of killing your opponent is Jeanne Dark.
Yeah.
The card is still a thing. It will still always be a thing as long as it is in New Frontiers. And it is 2 black for 7/5. It has swiftness and gains eternal, essentially, as long as you have 3 or more dudes. And if she deals damage to a J/Resonator, she deals it in -1 counters instead. So she just
a powerhouse for 2 mana.
2 mana, I get a 7/5 swiftness that can't die.
Yeah.
Great.
And by turn 2, you can have up to 3 because she counts herself. Because turn 1, you energize 2 1-drops, and then turn 2, you have that and you just swing.
Yeah.
And then have fun with that.
Yeah. And just so you know, she is a thing on their board too, because I did lose to 3 of them. Because I was like,
Oof.
oh, good. I can't kill any of them because they're just like, cool. We're all eternal.
Yeah, I'm about to say, that's called the eternal struggle right there.
Yeah, it was bad.
3 John Darks, they all help each other.
Because I was doing good. He had 2 of them in play, and I discarded his last cards in hand. And he was like, cool, top deck a 3rd John Dark. And I was like, well,
Oof.
great.
Done. Alright, now we'll go to my waifu here. The Astema, the Returnee of Hatred. 2 Darkness, 1, 7/6 flying. Enters. Opponent loses 500. And if you have 3 runes revealed, you gain 500. So it's good. You can pay 400 life to draw a card. And then, of course, you can pay 10 life or 1,000 and they lose 500.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's extremely powerful and it's insane.
By far the most powerful darkness card in New Frontiers right now.
Yeah.
Like, hands down. Because it does so much in the New Frontiers block with all the runes everywhere. Because it comes in, they lose 5, you gain 5. It's already a 10 life difference if you think about it.
Yeah.
And then she can just kill them without having to worry about it. A couple of times I killed a lot of people with Astema. I mean, that was really all it is, because essentially when you get them down to 15 and you have an Astema in hand, you win.
Yeah, pretty close.
Because you just play your Astema, they lose 5, and then you use 1 to do 5 damage, you use the other to do another 5 damage.
Yeah.
Every time I was
Simple.
just like, kill you.
Of course, talk about Lily's Protector here.
Yeah, she is 1 black and 2 for a 7/7. That doesn't really matter. Her only job is to be in the graveyard, really. And if she gets removed from the graveyard, target Dark Elf gets barrier. And so the 1 or 2 times I got to use it, it really helped because Lily protected herself, and that's her main purpose, because Lily can remove at any time. So you're just like, hey, remove this Dark Elf, I gain barrier. And that's what she needed to do.
Seems good. Now, of course, my husbando picture here is Look of Corruption. I'm glad you put them both in the deck.
Oh yeah.
1 Darkness, chant. Look at your opponent's hand, choose a card with total 4 or less, and then they discard it. And if you do Awakening, you do a 5 or more. So that's just good. Just 1 black, grab something, then you discard at random, and then you're already above.
Yeah, that's 2 cards down if you do a turn 1.
Yeah.
And usually if you have Energize, you get to play another Dark Elf on top of it. So you're just like, cool, I have Threat on board, and you do 2 cards down. Sounds good. Next up is March of the Dead, which is another very big card in my deck because literally you can get all of them except 5 cards.
Yeah.
Literally all of my dudes can come back with this card. It is 1 black, put target Resonator total cost 2 or less from your graveyard into the field, put a second one into play with 2 or less into play if this was awakened, and it awakens for 2 black. And one of the most ridiculous ones I had down there was turn 1, 2 Dark Elf Gravekeepers, put 2 Majin Dark Elves in the yard because I had a March of the Dead in my hand, in my opening hand, so I waited till turn 3 to just awaken it and swing 12 with 2 Majin Dark Elves.
Just have fun with that.
And I was playing against Gil in that game, and he was just like, that is a lot of damage way too quickly. And I was like, I'm sorry.
That's what you have to do against Gil.
Yeah.
You just have to get there.
You have to, because Gil just gets to control how the game works past like turn 4. You're like, cool, I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Yeah. Nice. And the next one, of course, that also help rush things in there is Faith in the Darkness. 2 Darkness. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You may put a Resonator 2 or less from the field, so basically the same thing. But if you put a John Dark and you put 2 1/1 counters on it, you gain Swiftness and First Strike until end of turn. So, yeah.
If you get Energized and you get that opening hand and you hit a John Dark, it's bad for their life. A couple of games I got it. I mean, it's just... You always want to dig for John Dark just because it gets better.
Yeah.
It makes her 9/7 that and forever, and it gives her Swiftness that turn. But like I said before, everything in the deck can get hit except 2 different cards.
Yeah.
And one of them shouldn't be in your deck because the Dark Elf Gravekeeper. So essentially 4 cards. We're playing little dudes, so Life Saving Blade is a must-have.
Yeah.
It is 1 black and 2 for quick cast, destroy target Resonator. It costs 2 less if a dude you control died this turn.
So 1 Darkness, just because your little dudes are going to die real quick.
Yeah. But don't be afraid to play it for 3. I can't tell you how many people were like apparently shocked and in utter awe that I play it for 3 all the time. And I was like, I need that dude out of my way.
Yeah.
It makes more sense to me to just pay the 3 and kill it than trade my dude. Because there's a couple times where I had like an Astema against an Astema, and I was like, pay 3, kill your Astema, swing for 7.
Yeah, exactly. with aggro and slash into tempo, you just want to have one good creature and then kill their dudes. Like, if you're able to keep at least one more creature and kill their dudes, it's amazing.
Yeah. But in the same regard, don't forget that it does only cost 1 if you have a dude die, which I played Loki Machines guy. Poor guy, because I had 3 of them in my hand. And I was like, run this Dark Elf into your big dude. Kill that Lancelot, kill that dude, kill that other dude. And he was like, really? Really? And I was like,
value.
That's what I had, bro.
Super value.
And he was like, okay. So he really couldn't do much after that. He played a couple more things, but after clearing 2-3 Lancelots, he was kind of done.
Yeah.
And the final card in the main deck is High Speed. It's there to give you the extra, the swiftness. It is 1 red with Remnant. Target Resonator gets +2/+2 in swiftness. When it awakens, remove 4 strength counters from your J ruler. This card does 400 damage to your opponent.
Nice.
So if the Sprinting Time Horse ever dies, you get the 4 strength counters that you can shoot them for 4 with this card and give another dude swiftness. But every turn I played High Speed on a dude, it was very, very valuable. More often than not, it was either high speeding an Astema or like a Jeanne Dark. Or one of my sideboard dudes. That was the big play as my sideboard card, which we'll talk about in just a second, but it was kind of ridiculous. High Speed's just a really good card still.
It's 1 red.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't take that much.
Yeah.
Especially since everything else is so cheap.
Yeah. So the stones, they're pretty simple. 4 Null Magic Stones, because you need the red.
Yeah.
You don't need a lot of it, but this also helps you play Dark Elf, or Majin Dark Elf. 2 Darkness Magic Stone, and then I have 4 Demonic Soul Stone, which is essentially the Dark Elf Stone. Treat this as a Darkness Magic Stone, produce a black, pay 2 tap. This card does 100 damage multiplied by the number of Dark Elves you control to each player. Every time I pulled that out, people were just like, what? What does this card do? Like, they didn't know what this land did.
Right.
And they were just like, okay. And a lot of people were a lot more scared of this than they should have been, because I don't think I activated it at all.
But still, it's there.
It's there if you need it. Yeah. That is it for the full 40. I have a sideboard that I used for it, and like I said, we made it Friday night with the help of the 2 that I went down there with, and we argued about it for a lot of different cards, but it worked out. So we'll get into that real quick. First up, I have Lich, so that way you play against a Gil deck. Lich is your other answer to Gil, because Lich has Bane when he judgments. And that's essentially the only reason I have Lich there, is for the Bane. But it is Judgment, 2 black and 1, energized for a 1, and it's a 6/12 with Bane. And whenever a non-token Darkness Resonator you control is put into the graveyard from the field, put a 1/1 Darkness Skeleton into play.
Now, did you ever sideboard him in?
I did a couple of times.
Yeah.
But both times I did, I really wish I didn't. Because when you do sideboard Lich in, you're not able to use Black Rosario because you have to have Lucifer.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the only time I ever really sided it in was against a Gil deck, because that's its main purpose. So if I need to kill their Gil, I can. But for the most part, I was able to outpace the Gil deck, thankfully. And that's what got me there.
Nice.
Next up is 2 more Life-Severing Blades to run the full package of 4.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, people are going to play dudes. That's what this format's all about. Playing dudes and playing spells. And 2 more kill spells is great. But, again, to counter that is Ray the Black Owl. And this card came in almost every game.
Yeah.
Probably should have played in main board and whatever. But, whatever. Ray the Black Owl is a black and 1 for a 5/7. This card cannot be attacked. At the beginning of your main phase, invert this card. And she inverts into 0, which is an 8/9 flyer. Entities you control gain whenever this card is targeted by a spell or ability. Cancel that spell or ability. This ability triggers only once per turn. There was one instance where I forgot about that.
Oof.
And I ran into it on stream. So if you want to go check that out, you can watch me totally botch that totally. But
you done goofed, huh?
yeah, I done goofed. Thankfully, he didn't just kill it, but he didn't have a whole lot of white stones to stop it. Thankfully, because it was on an Astema. I played an Astema and I tried to high speed it. And
no.
The commentators were like, "Oh, that's not good for him," the other guy. And then the dude pointed out that he was like, "Nah, that's canceled." And I was like, "Uh-huh."
Like, oh yeah.
In my head, I was just like, "Oh God, oh God, oh God." But Yeah.
Have another one? No, I don't. Just
Yeah, and then
we'll
I
continue.
passed turn and it got through, and I was like, oh, thank God. Woo! We made it past that turn because I popped its own bubble, and it's a bad op. But
Yeah.
she is a card that has to be answered, otherwise they don't get to do much. Like all those Blades of Fate they run, because Black White Brunhild is a deck, they don't do anything. You're just like, cool, you have to pay 2 of those to kill one of my dudes. But that's it as far as that. Next up is Evil Elemental Uprising. It is for the Graveyard Shenanigan decks. It's 1 black, quick cast, remove all cards in your opponent's graveyard from the game. Players cannot chase this card.
It's really good. Just the fact they can't cancel it.
Yeah. It can't be canceled, and you can't really do other things. You can still do mana abilities because they don't go on the chase. So it doesn't stop Gil as much, but it does cripple them pretty hard. Because it gets rid of all their extra cards they get to do things with. Or like, because Gil can remove 1 elemental at a time, or 2 elementals if it's flipped. And that's essentially what I was there for, just be like, hey, get rid of all of your stuff. I don't want you doing any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And March of the Dead was played everywhere, and Power of Immortality. Like, an evil elemental on a Power of Immortality is kind of cheeky, because they're just like, cool, power, and you're like, cool, in response, remove it before it comes back. Thanks. Next up is Soul Prison. Lucifer's other master rune, his Chanceless Master. And it is 6 mana, Divinity 3 Chant Master Rune, but it costs 3 less as long as you're playing Lucifer. And you use it as a chant. And target Resonator gets -0, -1000 until the end of the turn. Whenever it is put into a graveyard from this turn, put it into play under your control.
It's super powerful for cheap, and it's insane that I guess we don't see many people use it. And people were slightly confused, right, when we played it?
Yeah.
And Gilder.
A lot of people don't use this card and they don't really know why. I mean,
It's insane.
I get that Life-Saving Blade has the potential to cost 1, but for the same mana, you get to take almost anything.
Yeah. Especially their Astema, right?
Yeah. So I did kill a dude by playing Soul Prison to kill their Astema to take it for them to lose 5 life and me to gain 5 life off of their dude.
Yep.
So, pretty nice.
It's really good.
The other time I brought it in was against the dude playing Loki Machines because he had Mosasaur, and I really wanted to Soul Prison a Mosasaur. God, I wanted to so bad. Because he got me game 1 because he was just like, Return of God, drop Mosasaur. And I was like, well,
Thanks.
great. I have 2 lands to play with. And then, but game 2 I didn't get to because I just got through all of his other stuff. But Soul Prison is still a really good card. I don't know about running 4 of them because it's a bit much, but 2 or 3 is pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Next up is new baby girl in my deck, a Borizuki Caller of Gods. She is 4 black for a 10/10. She enters, you put 2 fresh blood counters on this card. If there are 4 or more runes revealed, you put 4 on her instead. And then you can remove a fresh blood counter, she gets Flying and Drain. And then you can tap, remove 2 fresh blood counters, destroy target J Resonator. And this card gets +1000/+1000 as long as there's 10 or more stones in play on your side. But really this card was pay 4 mana, give 4 mystery counters, gain a lot of life. Because she has the same clause as my Lily that you remove 1, you gain Flying and Drain, and those drain stacks like it does.
Yeah.
So, and this was the play that I did with high speed that was kind of disgusting. So in finals, the game 3,
That super mattered, right?
yeah, I had saved my life enough with Astema to buffer me out a little bit, and then turn 5, I played in a Borizuki, and I high speeded it, and I was like, please don't have a kill spell, because if you don't, this is real bad for you. Because we were both playing aggro decks where we just punch each other in the face, because that's literally what our decks do.
Yeah.
And I was like, swing 10 before blocks, give it a Flying and Drain to see what he did. That way he couldn't really block it. And then he was like, no blocks. And I was like, remove 3 drain counters for 3 fresh blood counters, gain 48 life.
Yeah.
Because high speed gives it +2/+2, making it 12. And you gain 12 4 times. And it took me to 72, I do believe at the time. No, 70. And against an aggro deck, that much life, it's kind of hard to get through. And he killed it promptly afterwards, but I was like, that's great, she did her job.
Yeah.
She did everything she needed to.
Got all the damage in for sure.
Yeah, but she's awesome. And the final Resonator I have in my sideboard is our boy Belial, the evil from the scriptures. 3 black and 3 for a 12/12 flying Fallen Angel. If your life is 1,000 or less, you may pay 3 lists to play this card. Enter, destroy all non-Fallen Angel Resonators, and whenever a Resonator is put into a graveyard from the field, it deals 100 damage to your opponent.
Yep.
I did side him in a couple of times. Against the Lucky Machines guy I did. I totally misplayed it because I got scared because I was at like 13, I think, and he was swinging for 11 with a Gwaine. And I was like, if I take this, I can play my Belial for 3. But then, I don't know. I lost track of what I was doing, and I just threw my dude in front of it, so I didn't go below 10 like I should have.
Oh, sad.
So he killed me that game, but it is, you make mistakes. It's
Yeah,
what
exactly.
you do.
You still learn, even in the finals.
Yeah, but it was fun. Overall, the deck is super, super fun. Definitely try it out at your locals before we get into all the new crazy. Because this is the final deck pretty much we're going to make of before we play with the new cards. Because they're coming out and they're going to be wild.
Yeah.
But if you want something different, you want something that's not really a thing, play this deck at locals one time.
Yeah, because most people, when rotation happens, they get all scared about building decks. It's like, it's going to rotate out. Well, just play something fun then.
Yeah.
Don't go crazy with it.
And this deck is definitely fun. It is definitely an aggro deck, so if you're not an aggro player, don't go for it. But
yeah,
if you're okay with your life going down and their life going down,
yeah,
it's definitely a deck to check out.
Life is a resource. Use it.
Yeah, for sure. If you have any questions or want to see what the deck does, like if you want to watch it play, go check out the Ruler School, the GP coverage. I was on there a couple times on the finals.
You even got interviewed?
Yeah, I got interviewed about different cards because, I mean, after I won the GP, they were just like, hey, we need to talk about some cards.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that seems fair.
Be like, what is a Dark Elf Spy?
Yeah, they were just like, you play a lot of cards that are not ever seen play. Like, almost every game, I was like, play this dude. And people were like, hold on, what? What does that card do?
We got a reader.
And they would like pick up the card just to be like,
feel like,
okay.
Just
they're like,
aside.
all right. But most of the time they were like Dark Elf Spy, and they were just like, well, that's gonna get annoying, and it did because that's its job.
Yeah.
Overall I love the deck. I've always loved Dark Elves. I mean, y'all stuck with me, you know.
Yeah, totes.
But I finally got there with my Dark Elves, so I guess I can retire from playing Dark Elves. I'll find something other new, some new tribal to play. Don't worry. But thank you guys for joining us here on the channel today. We'll see y'all again next time on the island. Later.
Goodbye.
Also, guys, just remind y'all to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and if you want to keep up to date on all our future content, make sure you click that bell. It'll give you all the notifications you need.
With that, we'd like to go ahead and give a big thank you to all our fans that support us through the year, and especially our Patreon support people. We do like to give a shout out to our Mythic and Above supporters, and that would be Dwayne Higgs. Thank you very much. We love you.